So then let's look at what's happened during this period in which robots penetrated the US economy. What's happened to the employment level of places that were more exposed to robots? Again, in a world of enabling technologies, we should see these places thrive both productivity-wise, but also in terms of employment and wages. And this picture here shows that the effect is actually not very positive at all. Places that have been more exposed to robots have had significant shrinkage in their employment. So the extreme point there is Flint, Michigan. That's the one that's most exposed, for example. But you'll see that many other places are very exposed also and have experienced rather rapid rollout of industrial robots, and their employment hasn't done very well. Same thing when you look at wages. Wage levels have been not just stagnant, but actually declining in the areas that are most on the firing line of robots. So therefore, I take this evidence as suggestive that, just as in the discussion that I provided at the beginning of replacing technologies, we are in the midst of a process where we have an array of different replacing technologies. Industrial robots is just one example. And if indeed, as appears to have been the case, if these technologies are not creating a productivity revolution, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second, and we don't really have the complementary skills, the displacement effect is going to win out, and we should experience lower wages and lower employment, and that's what we are seeing. But it also should be added immediately that the numbers here are not apocalyptic. We're not talking of millions of people losing jobs. So if you take the numbers that I'm showing you here, it would imply that robots reduced US employment by 1/3 of a percentage point. So not trivial, but nothing relative to the huge decline in employment in manufacturing, for example, which is more than 3 percentage points. So we're not talking about the end of job, but we are talking powerful technologies that may be pushing us in the direction that we have to deal with these.